A few years ago, one of the best-selling memoirs around the world was that of tennis player Andre Agassi. One of the most memorable parts was the opening chapter, where he detailed how much effort, hours worth, it took him to simply get his body out of bed in the morning because his sports-related injuries were so severe. And that was when he was still playing tennis. It's a side of professional sport that fans don't really see, but that haunts athletes long after they retire. As David Mark reports, some resort to court action seeking compensation for what their careers have cost them.
Jacobs' kick needs to be precise, and it is. Goldstein. Oh! Lewis has now gone the 4.
Get that, India.
Professional sport can be a brutal occupation.
Got it, bang, gone, down. He's still down.
High-impact collisions,
Bang.
fractured bones and damaged ligaments are an occupational hazard.
Does anyone know any of the 4 core skills? Let me tell you the first one. First touch.
20 years ago, Paul Wade was at the pinnacle of his sport. He played 84 games for the Socceroos, 46 of them as captain.
10, he beats Brazil 1-0, ready?
The price he paid was limited movement and constant pain.
15, smashed Argentina. Eventually I had to go and have both ankles operated on. And the pain is unbearable. Broke my leg. Everybody playing football with any breaks their leg, so that's no big deal. But since sending, I've had a new hip, which allows me now to go shopping up and down those aisles of Woolies.
Ready, go. He's got to get 5.
Now his involvement in the game is limited to coaching kids.
I do limp all over the place, but if you said to me, would you do it all again? I'd say, yep. You are dead right. All the blood, the stitches, the operations, I'd do it all again.
It was that passion that led to Paul Wade playing with a crippling ankle injury in 1993 in a seminal World Cup qualifier marking the Argentinian legend Diego Maradona.
You're going to do all sorts of weird things to make sure you're out there. Absolutely.
Were you fit to play?
Once I had that cortisone injection, dead right I was. I couldn't feel anything.
What happened afterwards?
Oh, the trip home was excruciating.
The kick to King, not bad, knocked away, ducked ahead, Cooney got him.
It gets punched on there and you can see that I don't like that all that much.
Former Richmond AFL player Jake King knows all about playing with pain.
I had a broken thumb on the left, a broken hand on the right. I had actually torn the PCL ligament in my knee. I had a slight tear in the groin, and I think I ended up breaking the outside of my foot round 22 against Freo. So I had to pretty much sacrifice my body and the way it felt to actually go out and play football to try and prolong my career as best I could.
Jake, up the front.
In the end, an injury to his big toe simply wouldn't heal.
Hey boys, time's come, so I'm retiring as of today. So
He's since had 9 operations on his toe, the bone is fused and he can't take up his old trade as a plumber, but he still has a mortgage to pay. Unlike other workers, professional sports people aren't covered by workers' compensation.
And it's just disappointing that the AFL, who makes billions of dollars, won't actually contribute to this, or the players aren't looked after in some way to have an income protection or pretty much a work cover benefit for life after football, because it can be a challenging road.
Jake King is limited to seeking compensation from the AFL for his career-ending injury under a new clause in the players' collective bargaining agreement.
It's pretty sad that how I can be employed with the Richmond Football Club, our receptionist is employed by the same person, yet the AFL, we're not covered.
If he's successful, he'll get just half a year's wages in a lump sum.
We need to think through not only having a discussion with the politicians in Victoria, but also South Australia.
The Australian Athletes Alliance is leading the push for Australia's professional athletes to get a better deal.
We certainly believe that as a matter of policy, athletes should not be excluded from workers' compensation.
If you play professional sport, particularly contact sport, for any particular length of time, at least 5 years, say, will you come out of it with a chronic injury?
Well, I think there are very good chances that the answer to that is yes.
That's particularly so for players in the tough, high-impact, high-contact sport of rugby league. The Code's former Chief Medical Officer says short-term gain is sometimes put ahead of long-term pain.
The game is about winning at all costs, no matter what. Always. Everyone's in the game to win. You know, no one plays to lose. Everyone wants to win, no matter what.
So that's why a club might play a player knowing they're injured?
Of course.
Are they thinking about the player's long-term health?
No. Basically, what we're interested in, can this player play today? What's going to happen to this guy in 5 years, 10 years? It's not their responsibility anymore.
Here we go. Only with his left foot. He's playing.
It's the players who bear the physical and financial costs of chronic injuries long after their careers are over. But now at least there is a move to change.
So really, I would say, let's think, at least consider what happens to people with serious injuries from playing football 10 years later.
David Mark reporting.